Am I wrong for going behind my wife's back and telling my mom she didn't have to wear the assigned color? We still have a debate in my marriage due to some drama at the wedding, so I would love some feedback. When we were planning our wedding, there was a clash between my mom and my wife, who already didn't get along the best, because my wife believed that as the bride, she gets to dictate a color scheme for immediate family. My mom thought she was a control freak and just made that up. Somehow, she got my mom to agree to wear gold, but then World War III started, because neither of them could figure out what gold meant. My wife thought the dresses my mom picked were too light and more of a champagne. The ones my wife was showing her were bronze, and my mom refused to wear brown. I was getting annoyed, because neither of them seemed to know what gold was, and it seemed like a difficult color to begin with. Also, my mom won't shop online for anything formal or fitted, and apparently, there just aren't that many gold dresses around. This led to so much tension that my mom said she wasn't coming. My wife knew I was going to my mom's house to talk to her and supported that. When I got there, my mom was serious that she wasn't coming. She wouldn't even let me in her house. I finally told my mom that she was at least partially right, and she could wear another color as long as it wasn't dark pink, mother-in-law's color, black, bridesmaids, or white or anything white passing. My mom agreed and wore turquoise. I was honestly hoping my wife would just be too happy to notice, but she did notice. She wasn't that upset, but did tell me what a bitch my mom is. I told her discreetly that I told her she didn't have to wear the gold as it wasn't working. She was annoyed but moved on since it was our wedding day. When we got back from the honeymoon, she told me how much it pissed her off and that I betrayed her, and now my mom is never going to respect us, because we aren't a united front. Am I wrong for telling my pregnant sister she needs to go and making her move out? My sister Allie is currently 7 months pregnant with a little girl she's planning to name Violet. Allie moved in after she discovered she was about 2 months pregnant. She and her boyfriend agreed beforehand that they didn't want to settle down and wanted to stay childless. Her boyfriend had a vasectomy and they used other protection, but Allie got pregnant anyway. Allie said that getting pregnant changed her mind about not settling, and she wanted her and her boyfriend to get married so they could raise the baby together. Her boyfriend said he would pay child support and other things, but because of some stuff that happened in his childhood, he knew he wouldn't be a good enough father for Violet. They are still in somewhat contact, but have broken up. Several family members offered to let Allie move in as well, but she chose to move in with me. Since she's moved in, Allie has been a nightmare. She is nice to others, but vicious towards me. Just recently, I didn't buy the right brand of sliced raisin bread. Allie wanted a different brand than usual, but neglected to tell me that, and she went off on a tirade about how I was a failure in life and it wasn't surprising my ex cheated on me. Allie never apologizes for her tirades and thinks I should just get over them because the hormones are giving me mood swings. Allie does not work at the moment and also does no help around the house. She is capable of moving, she goes to friends' houses, but will not pick up after herself because she claims those specific chores cause her immense pregnancy pain. Allie expects me to be her servant because she's pregnant. She once made me drive almost 3 hours to bring her food from this specific Italian restaurant because Violet was craving lasagna. It's for her. Anytime I put my foot down or am not 100% cordial with her, as in being tired instead of super enthusiastic, Allie will call my mother, and she and my other female family members will shame me because they say it's sexist for me to always expect Allie to be perfect when she's in pregnancy pain and I will never know the demand of pregnancy on my body. I explain my side, but they argue the same things along with how I should just help Allie because stress is bad for the baby. The tirades and demands for special food or items, because Violet wants them, have become daily occurrences. So I told Allie last week that we needed to talk. I explained to Allie that I love her, but I just can't deal with her right now. I said I would help her move out, and helped pack and bring her things to my mother's. Now, my family members are calling me an AH, saying I kicked out my own sister when she's pregnant. How Allie always looked out for you. Allie's 4 years my senior, and this should have been my turn to take care of her. How Violet's father isn't going to be in her life and now she has an uncle who threw her out. I just can't handle Allie because of how physically and mentally exhausting I am. So, am I an AH? Am I wrong for saying my sister-in-law doesn't deserve my support after she bullied me during the worst period of my life? I gave birth to my beautiful son 5 years ago. All through the pregnancy, I was so excited for him and our future as a family. Part of me didn't think my life could get better. Then near the end, I started to feel off, and after he was born, I hit rock bottom. My childhood had a lot to do with it, I believe. My mother died when I was an infant and I was passed around various people throughout my childhood. I was unwanted, called a burden, left out of families that I stayed with, some of them being blood related to me. Bad things happened. I was left with a lot of trauma. I think having my son and having PPD and PPA triggered a lot of this and made everything worse. I felt like I couldn't be a good mom, having never had a good parent or parent figure in my life. I was also worried I would die and make my family fall apart. There were times I was so sure my son was sick when he wasn't. I was having daily panic attacks that could last what felt like hours. I wasn't looking after myself and I was so afraid. Some days, I didn't get out of bed. My husband was so worried. It took him literally carrying me into the hospital while I was in a catatonic state and demanding they help me. Before that had happened, his sister was always calling around when he was at work, and would tell me to snap out of it or grow up or woman up. She told me I was a failure and how my son would be better off with anyone other than me as a mom. A few times, she went right into my face and just yelled at me. Nothing could stop her. Until my husband came home one day and found her, verbally targeting me. I'm doing much better, but our son will be an only, because I can't risk that again. We no longer have anything to do with sister-in-law. She just had her first child and was diagnosed with PPD. Nobody in the family, with the exception of me, has suffered from it. Everyone expects me to help her, except my husband. They have said she needs me, she needs someone who gets it, who cares about her, someone she can rely on. I told them I was not that person, which they didn't like. My husband told them sister-in-law could battle it out alone, like I had to, when she was bullying me. I said I agreed with my husband and that sister-in-law doesn't deserve my support given everything. They all think I'm the AH and that I should be more compassionate than she was at the time. Am I the AH?